If you guys enjoy what I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it's free and easy to do. Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Lalai has found something that she's excited about, so she's eager to talk when the Warrior of Light shows up in Ul'dah. After her master became a permanent resident of the upper room, she went to the prison cell where he had been locked up for 100 years so she could collect all of his research and share it with the next generation of black mages. While she was going through his stuff, she found a note written in code. Once she broke the code, she realized it told the location of two very old spell books, the Book of Nald and Thal. The spells inside are supposed to be so forbidden that even the Thaumaturge Guild masters wouldn't know about them. But since Lalai's master trusted the Warrior of Light with the future of black mages, she thinks that he would want you to have the books and their knowledge. One of them is hidden in Nald's reflection out in southern Thanalan, so the two of you head off to see if it's really there. The Book of Nald is right where the note said it would be, so the two of you head off to the second location to get the next one, so you can start learning new ways of destroying things without moving. Unfortunately, the Book of Thal is not where it should be. Someone got to it first, and that's obviously bad since there's no way of knowing whether or not the person who found it has a few screws loose. Even worse than potentially unleashing a forbidden magic wielding serial killer on the world is the fact that if the Thaumaturge Guild finds out about the books, they may try to take them, and Lalai doesn't want that. That means the two of you have to hunt down the thieves, so you head back to Ul'dah to figure out where to start your hunt. Lalai is pretty sure that the book was taken not that long ago since the chest that it was hidden in was left open, but no new dust had covered the inside of it. The Book of Nald is sealed with some not easily broken enchantments, so it's safe to say that the Book of Thal is locked the same way. Those locks won't be picked fast, so the two of you have a little bit of time to do some hunting before things get bad. The book hasn't popped up on the black market, which means whoever has it does plan on using it. The thief is clearly a mage of some kind, and he had to find information on the book from somewhere. There aren't all that many people who have information on black magic, but the three beastmen who helped you deal with the Void Scent know quite a bit, so it's possible that they might know something. It's a good place to start at least, so you head off to see Kazag Cha, while Lalai keeps working on drawing out the Book of Nald's knowledge. The Amojah black mage was very recently attacked by a weird man in a robe. He showed up and demanded that Kazag join him so they could master the dark arts together. That's not really a good pickup line, so he told him to kick rocks, which made the guy attack him with black magic. Kazag isn't exactly an easy target, so when he countered with spells of his own, the guy ran off. All of this happened right before you got there, so the Warrior of Light runs off to see if she can catch the attacker. She does find a guy nearby who recognizes that she's a black mage, but he's not the one who attacked Kazag. He says he was hunting the guy, but the Warrior of Light doesn't believe him, so he goes with you to see Kazag and prove it. Once the little mix-up is cleared up, the catboy introduces himself as Zaya from Gridania's Conjurer Guild. The Seedseer Council sent him out to hunt down a man who's been using the forbidden art of black magic. He followed his trail and caught up in time to see the man attack Kazag, but he lost him when he fled. He knows that you aren't working with the man, but since you are clearly a black mage, he wants to arrest you too. There's zero chance that the Warrior of Light will let this guy take her anywhere just because his boss has him hunting black mages. But since he might be useful, she lets him know about the stolen Book of Thal. He says that he didn't even know that the book existed, but now that he does, he decides to go and talk to Lalai. He seems like a bit of a dick, so the Warrior of Light decides to be present for this conversation to keep it from getting out of hand, while Kazag heads off to tell his two friends, Dazai and Dozo Malak, about this new, probably not good situation. Zaya shows up in Ul'dah and not only calls Lalai a fool for practicing black magic, he also calls her now dead master a fool, and he blames her for the rogue mages who are running around. He actually did know about the Book of Thal and he just lied to you before. Not only that, he knows who took it. It's a group that calls themselves Defiant, and their only goal is to master the most destructive magic on the planet. Their leader is a man named Waldev, and he used to be a member of the Conjurers Guild. He was extremely power hungry and preferred dominating people over helping them, which is why he started learning dark magic. The guild found out and banished him, but before he left, he said he was going to show the world the true power of black magic. The guild hadn't heard from him in years, but now that he's back, he must be ready to continue his work. He's been recruiting more and more people to his group, and if he starts teaching them magic out of the Book of Thal, things will get bad, so he needs to be dealt with quickly. Lalai had planned on dealing with one crazy mage, not a bunch of them, so her old plan is pretty much useless now. Xayah isn't exactly fond of the idea of trying to put down a black mage by sending another one after him, since it'll be like the start of the War of the Magi all over again, but he doesn't have much of a choice since he needs the two of you to help him hunt Waldev down. After Kazag lets him know what's going on, Dazah sends the Warrior of Light a message because he thinks something weird is happening in his area, so you head to the Bronze Lake to meet with him while Lalai lets Xayah know so he can come too. The same man who attacked Kazag talked to Dazah about joining Defiant and sharing his knowledge with them. He told him that he'd think about it and give them his answer later. He knows the guy will come back, and when he does, you can sneak him. Waldev shows up with two of his minions, and he was serious about getting Dazah to join him. He had read some of Kukuruka's works, and they had mentioned the goblin's ancestor as one of the people who had helped him learn black magic. Those notes also said he trusted Dagu with his secrets that he wants Dazah to share with him. People don't just give over family secrets to strangers, especially ones who are clearly as untrustworthy as Waldev, so Dazah refuses. That makes Waldev leave, but not before giving his minions the order to kill him, after they torture information out of him. The Warrior of Light steps in to make sure that doesn't happen, but before she can chase off after their leader, Xayah shows up and wastes time yelling at you for not bringing in the mages alive so he can question them. He acts like you just went on a killing spree instead of dealing with some people who were in the process of attempting to kill someone else. But since trying to convince him to stop assuming all black mages just like committing random acts of destruction is a waste of time, you both head back to Lalai to tell her what happened. She's seen you in action before, and she knows that you have enough control on your powers and emotions to not simply off people unnecessarily. Xayah's mind is constantly on the War of the Magi though, so he's going to be overly critical of whatever you do, but he seems to forget that it wasn't a battle of black mages that had caused so much destruction. It was the black mages and white mages fighting who caused the calamity. Regardless, you don't have time to worry about easing Xayah's nerves, because Lalai got a message from Dozo saying that he's hiding in Alder Springs and he needs your help. He's probably under attack by Defiant, so you head off to help him. You get there in time to stop the Defiant mages from killing him. They had tried to recruit him too, but when he refused, they attacked. Xayah shows up in time to see the dead mages, but after he examines them, he realizes that they hadn't died from your spells. They had burned from the inside out. Dozo thinks he knows why. The Defiant mages aren't exactly well trained, so they lost control of their magic, which caused the ether in their bodies to explode and burn them alive from the inside out. Xayah realizes that it may have been wrong to judge you the way that he did, but the mages burning themselves up by trying to draw more power than they should have still proves that black magic is dangerous. Despite that, he's still a big enough man to apologize. Lalai's pretty sure that the potential for spontaneous combustion will limit how many members Waldev can get. That was why they were going after the Beastmen mages. They were hoping they could get them to reveal the secret of controlling stronger magic without dying. Since that avenue has been closed, it's only a matter of time before they do something drastic that will reveal their location. The Conjurers have been reaching out to the different city-states for help on the hunt too, and some of the Temple Knights in Ishgard spotted some of the Defiant in the city. They've been trying to recruit people by claiming to have powers that can beat the Dravanians, which is a good way to get the Ishgardians to at least hear them out. Xayah would go after them on his own, but he knows nothing about Ishgard, so he asks you to help. He's gotten over his distrust of you and Lalai, which should make working with him a little more pleasant, so you make your way to Ishgard to try and track down Waldev's group. The Knights have already run them out of the city, but they've been recruiting out in the Western Highlands. The Knights out there are always looking to gain honor by taking down dragons, so Waldev may find quite a few willing recruits out there. So the Warrior of Light and Xayah head out there to deal with them before their numbers can grow. They've set up camp in the area and Xayah finds it first. He tries to deal with them alone, but there are a lot of them. Lucky for him, the Warrior of Light is there to save him. He had tried to deal with them on his own since every time you get involved, people die, but he realized pretty fast that his healing magic wasn't exactly suited for leading an offensive, and the two of you may have been able to take some of the mages alive if he just worked with you. But now you've lost your only lead to Waldev because of him. All you can do now is head back to Ul'dah and wait for something else to pop up. While you're waiting around, Xayah actually finds their base. It's out near the burning wall, but instead of waiting to make a plan, he runs off on his own again. Lalai thinks he's heading to the base, so she and the Warrior of Light make their way there as fast as they can to keep the Catboy from getting himself killed. Xayah's nowhere to be seen when you get to the burning wall, but there are a lot of Defiant members that the Warrior of Light and Lalai blow a path through. When they finally come face to face with Waldev, the mage opens a massive void gate and summons a very large void scent. It would not be easy to fight the thing with just the two of you, but fortunately Xayah shows up, and he had the good sense to grab the Beast Tribe black mages to add their firepower to the fight. Waldev still thinks he and his void scent are enough to handle you right up until the thing attacks him. Once it puts him down, it turns its attention on you. With all of the mages fighting the thing, it goes down pretty easily, and surprisingly enough, Waldev isn't dead. His injuries aren't fatal, and Xayah heals him up to make sure of that so he can bring him in. Once Xayah has taken Waldev in to face justice for his crimes, he searches his things and finds the Book of Thal. Proving how much he's changed since you first met him, he gives the book to Lalai for safekeeping, but not before letting her know that if she does anything crazy with it, he'll hunt her down too. This concludes the Heavensward part of the Black Mage storyline. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Grab a copy of my novel on your way out, and I'll see you all next time.